welcome back. Real Reds Talk, as I am singing and doing all sorts of shit as we wait for YouTube to let us go live. Unfiltered. Could Jürgen Klopp end up at Manchester United? We have got the story. Marcus Rashford is a tug of war between two clubs who seemingly don't want to pay or don't want him back. Ahmad has talked about speaking is the impact of Michael Carrick, and also could sponsors pull out for Manchester United regarding Jim Radcliffe's comments. Nick, not very much news, but some big sort of important news, but maybe with not much source, I would say. Yeah. How are you feeling with the sort of lack of drama around United at the minute? Obviously, we had the Jim Radcliffe thing, but it's been a bit quiet.
Yeah, but we can't complain, can we? Because we always say when something goes off in the media, it's like, oh, we just want one day.
One normal day.
One normal day where it's quiet. And you can't really call this day a normal day because of the news of Jürgen Klopp and stuff like that. So it's never is in the news world. But because there's such a giant gap between games at the moment, it does feel very weird and spacious. And you do get some nonsense transfers rumours coming out. I mean, we're not covering some of them today, and rightfully so, because some of the names you see in links are just ridiculous.
Yeah, but this name is ridiculous in Jürgen Klopp. We will cover a couple of little bits, but this is going to be the main focus. And obviously, we've got the international break coming up where potentially United are going to be 3 weeks with no game, which God knows what the newspapers and media outlets are going to do.
It's like a pre-fucking season,
but can you imagine the stories that are going to come out during that time? What we're going to be linked with?
What are we going to do, guys?
It's just going to be insanity.
No.
But yeah, insanity. Jürgen Klopp, his agent who, look, I'm not going to be able to pronounce this very correctly, but I'm going to try. Mark Kasicke.
Let me have a look at his name.
Kosicke. Mark Kasicke, I'm going to go with. He was recently interviewed and he said on the record that two clubs, Premier League clubs, Manchester United and Chelsea and City, I believe, both contacted him regarding Jürgen Klopp's availability after he left Liverpool. Now, I don't know if this was before Ruben Amorim came in or after Ruben Amorim. I don't know whether this was during when Erik ten Hag was still here. I'm not sure when the time thing, because they didn't mention it. So he is claiming that they contacted him regarding the manager's position. Now, Jurgen's obviously managed Liverpool. He's claimed that he would never manage another club in the English Premier League. But obviously, the inquiries are still ongoing. Before I get into the denial of United and all that sort of stuff, does that just sort of fill you with revulsion, Nick, the idea of Jürgen Klopp at Manchester United?
Yeah, when I see stories like this, I instantly, it's like a 3-point question thing that I go through with myself. And I think, okay, why is this being put out there? Like, how kind of, what was that guy on Joe Rogan's podcast? Is it Eddie Bravo? Is that like
the jiu-jitsu guy?
Yeah, jiu-jitsu conspiracist guy who's very like, how Eddie Bravo can we go on this in terms of like, why would they put this out? You could say, okay, well, maybe, Liverpool's in a race with United at a minute, the Champions League. Can they rock the boat a little bit with a bit of news? Yeah. Is it agent driven? Because usually when you see a player, when he's linked with the club, it's one of them in it. It's like, oh, they're using his name tied to United to push a transfer or to get attention on that deal, which it works quite a lot. Which is why agents do it. But there's just no way in any fucking paradox or world where Jürgen Klopp would ever manage Man United. You think about the results he's managed against us and the heartbreak, and even the heartbreak, on the flip side of things, what we've done to Liverpool as well, and the type of figure that he is and why he was so ingrained in Liverpool's culture. It would never, ever work. Ever work at the club. So, yeah, shivers down my spine.
Yeah. Well, again, this is from the Athletic, Mark Richley. They've reported that both Chelsea and United have denied making these inquiries. So we've basically got a he said, she said situation as usual. Now, United denying this doesn't mean it didn't happen. But also, like you said, the agent is talking for a reason. Now, whether that's, like you said, is he trying to get him to open up jobs in Europe? So when he moves from Red Bull, that he could get a job? Is there something going on there? So there's a lot of sort of question marks over it. Obviously, United-Liverpool history is a massive, massive thing. And I don't think a player has gone directly from Liverpool to Manchester United since like 1940-something, I think. That was the last time it happened directly. Obviously, there's been Michael Owen, Paul Ince, those kind of guys. But directly, there hasn't been. Obviously, you've got Matt Busby, who's got connections to Liverpool,
And
City,
yeah.
and he was one of the most successful managers at Manchester United. In the modern age, does that mean he's just persona non grata at United? He can't ever come in to United now.
Yeah, tribalism is what makes football, isn't it? And like the game between Man United and Liverpool, let's have it out, is, I mean, maybe people will throw the North London derby in there, or maybe people throw, Merseyside derby, whatever. It's one of the, if not the biggest game in the calendar season. And it's like that for a reason. It's because there's a lot of tribalism. There is a huge rivalry and heated rivalry between both clubs. It'd be like fucking, there's no one who compares to Klopp really who's done that long, but imagine Ole going to like Liverpool or something. There's no way it would resonate with the fans. It's not. The weird thing is, if he didn't manage Liverpool, I don't know if this is going to be one of your questions.
He's a good option, isn't he?
He would probably be number one choice, weirdly enough, because he has that ability to really get a fan base together and bring him United. And at the minute, look, we're winning on the pitch and stuff, but if you look at the stuff that's going on off the pitch, it's starting to be divided again. And he is someone who brings everyone together. And that's something from the outside looking in, Liverpool manager aside, I've really respected about Jürgen Klopp, the way he's managed to do that and the work that he's done within there. Is he there 9 years, 8 years, something like that?
8 years, I think. Yeah, 8 years.
Yeah, impressive to be fair, but
won a first league title in 30 years for Liverpool. Slot won his title basically with a Jürgen Klopp team. He didn't buy anybody, did he, that season? So that technically you could sort of attribute that to that. They also dropped some nuggets about potentially managing national teams. He said England have inquired, USA, Germany, if Nagelsmann is potential to leave. Do you think that's more sort of suitable for Klopp at the minute? Like, it's a bit more, because obviously you mentioned at Liverpool the intensity and he was tired and he'd ran out of energy and stuff like that. Do you think that'd be a good option, like managing an international team? What do you think about Klopp managing England potentially one day?
Well, Tuchel's managing England.
Well, in a minute, yeah, that's what I'm saying. But
no, but I'm saying he's a German manager.
Yeah,
won stuff, in Europe. I can see that more than in managing Man United. That's for sure, 100%. And the thing about all the managers that are in international football at the moment, it's all about timing, right? We've got a big World Cup coming up. That's a way to entice managers to say, do you want to manage here? It's not as enticing after a World Cup's just finished and saying, all right, do you want to start the qualifiers for the Euros in 2 years? Do you know what I mean? It's slightly different. Whereas now you've got the big dogs ready to go. Ancelotti at Brazil, Nagelsmann, Germany, Tuchel at England.
Pochettino, USA.
Pochettino with the USA. Like, quite a lot of big managers are in the international game. And Jose Mourinho has spoken about his admiration for kind of the international setup as well. I'm sure he'll go there at some point.
One day, definitely.
One day. You got to have Mourinho there, innit? And because I think international footballs, and I think we agree on this, it's very vanilla in it. It's ready, salted, crisp.
At times, yeah.
At times. You put Mourinho in that setup, and I think things start changing a little bit. You start getting a bit of bite back again and a bit of rivalry, because you don't really have that rivalry anymore. It seems very blasé and very kind of chilled. But I think Klopp more in the international scene would make more sense, especially because he left Liverpool, didn't it, because of stress reasons and too much to manage. I think international's quite a different.
It's almost like a part-time gig.
It's not as relentless as. Well, I don't think it is. I haven't managed an international team, but I suspect it's a lot different to managing Premier League clubs.
Yeah, I think that with international football nowadays, like, obviously I'm not a big fan of England, but maybe Thomas Tuchel can bring me back to the fold with a World Cup win or something. That might be interesting. But I love the underdog teams like Georgia and the Euros. I fucking love watching them. They were Kvaratskhelia and
he was a striker as well. Mika Tawadze, was it?
Yeah, he was good. The goalkeeper's gone to Liverpool as well, hasn't he? Mamardashvili.
Yeah.
So they were really interesting. Austria under Ragnick, I think they're a really good team. And stuff,
they're the best ones in it, to be fair. I agree. Morocco was unreal.
Morocco, so I love watching that stuff. So that's what's interesting to me. The big boys tend to go a bit more safe, but we're getting a bit off topic there. But terrifying thought for Liverpool that he could have ended up at Old Trafford, but it seems like he's staying where he is for now. So, but if you're enjoying the conversation, by the way, please do hit subscribe, like the video, leave comments in the chat and stuff like that. Please do. Move next to a manager who won't come to Old Trafford, to a player who may not want to come back. Marcus Rashford, Barcelona. Let's talk about it. The context here: Barcelona obviously loaned Rashford late into the sort of end of the transfer window last summer. There was a pre-agreed option, Barcelona, to make the permanent signing. It's about 30 million euros, which is about 26 million quid. The briefing wars are now begun. So Barca obviously don't want to pay whatever the fee is that United have stumped up. They want to pay less because it's Barcelona and they are the dodgiest accountants on the planet. The original report was from Mate Moretto, who are claiming Carrick would want Rashford back at the club if he does end up being permanent manager. But United would prefer to sell, and Barca do not want to pay the £26 million that has been set up in the pre-arranged thing. Andy Mitten, Chris Wheeler, and Daniel Carr have come back on this and basically said they are adamant, United, that they will not renegotiate that fee, and they expect Barcelona to pay the full agreed figure if they want to keep him, and that United are actually puzzled by all the speculation going on that they would accept anything less.
Yeah.
Is this posturing going on, Nick, or are they United genuinely like putting a line in the sand of like, no, this is what you pay or he comes back?
I'm genuinely insulted by that offer. Like, I don't care who you are. I don't care what club, what sporting director you are. 25 million for Marcus Rashford, even if he was in bad form, is still an outrageous offer. It's stupid. I don't know what is there a pre-agreed deal in there for 30? Is that
30 million euros, 26 million quid?
I'm gonna need to find the details. Is this an obligation or is this
no? It's an option.
An option, right? Yeah. So even
so
that,
if they want to make it permanent and keep him permanently, they have to pay that.
But we're talking like 30 million. What wingers?
There we go. If everybody for your bingo card.
What wingers in today's climate have you known who's gone for that price?
No, there isn't one.
This like we bought Dorgu from Lecce for 20 million. Do you know what I mean? Like 25 million for Rashford. He's probably going to start at the Euros in the World Cup, in my opinion.
He's in his prime. He's what, 27?
He's doing decent for Barcelona. Yep. Like he's had a good spell there.
Yep.
Not on a chance in fucking. Garnacho's just gone for 40 million quid, and we thought that was a bad deal at the time when he went to Chelsea.
This is not Jadon Sancho, who has had zero form and zero account of anything. This is Marcus Rashford, who 2 years ago had his best goal scoring season for United and was one of the most important players.
Yeah.
This is Marcus Rashford, so that form is not far away. He can reach that again. Yeah, so 26 million is it feels like a joke. And the fact that they're trying to renegotiate it is even more of a joke.
Yeah, I want to see his stats at Barcelona at the moment, because even when I've watched him in Europe, obviously I don't watch La Liga week in, week out, but when I've seen him play in Europe, he's done pretty fucking well. 10 goals and 13 assists.
Yeah.
That's what he's got at the minute for Barcelona. And you're talking about 25 million quid. Get to fuck. That's what I say. No chance. And damn right, they're fucking rejecting it and saying like, Barcelona will put out whatever nonsense they want in the tabloids and newspapers and, through journalists, whatever. Yeah. If United did do that deal, even if they took 30 million, I'd be insulted. Surely you must feel the same.
Yeah, no, absolutely. We need to get as much money as possible for him, especially with the fact that he's an academy product, so it's all profit. So the more money you can get, the even better.
Fucking joke, man.
We've obviously seen United collapse to these sort of demands before with certain players, just so we can get wages off the books. That obviously Rashford's on quite a big wage. Mm-hmm. Is this the new firmness for Munoz, or do you think, and the executive structure working, or again, is it the posturing that we usually see where it's like, no, this is the price, and then we collapse anyway?
I can't remember who it was we was talking about. It was a club who started doing this in Europe and became kind of prominent at it. That you get to a point where you have to start doing that. Even I don't know what the famous saying is, where it says "cut your nose off to spite your face." Is it something like that?
Yeah.
Like you have to do that in order to build a reputation around Europe, because every Tom, Dick, and Harry, whenever you spoke to agents or managers or whoever, when they spoke about United and dealing with United, it was like, "Oh, I'm quite surprised how easy the deal was. I'm quite surprised they didn't push back on this or whatever." So it's going to take a bit of time, years, I would suggest, to gain that reputation back. And from the article, I think the Athletic put out on Omar Barada, there's quite a lot of kind of reputable sources who are commenting it, saying that he's dealing quite well with, he's respected basically in that world. So that's a big step in itself. This Rashford thing for me is one of the biggest ones to keep building on that reputation and keep building those bricks, because he's a massive name. He's an academy product. He's pure profit if we do sell him. Yep. So if other clubs find out, they use that as a benchmark then, don't they, in negotiating? Because then if they come in for, I hope we don't, and I don't think we will now, but if they came in for Mainu, yeah, exactly. They're going to go, oh, well, you sold Marcus Rashford in decent form for 25 million. Why the fuck would we pay 75 for Copy? You're joking. Yeah. So it's the ripple effect it has as well, isn't it?
Just think potentially Kobbie Mainoo could be at Napoli right now had Michael Carrick not came in.
That's how quickly football can change, isn't it? Like in the snap of a finger, football is just so fickle. It's crazy.
Yeah. Speaking of Carrick, obviously he's done an excellent job stabilizing things at the minute. The report states that he wants Rashford back, but Rashford would prefer to stay in Barcelona. Obviously, that's a huge sort of conflict and stuff. If Rashford did come back against his will, obviously, but a manager who wants him, how does that go down? How does Rashford fit back into his team under Carrick? Like, surely that's just a recipe for disaster, isn't it? If he doesn't want to come back.
I don't know, because we've seen many managers get different out of different players, right? Yeah. So Unai Emery is a perfect example of it, where you can just bring in the twat whisperer. Is such a great. Was it T2 years ago? But that, yeah, such a good way to say it. I'm not sure if Michael Carrick is a twat whisperer, but if he is, then I think it'd be a conversation, because we don't have natural width, do we? We don't have wingers. Like we've got Cunha and Mount who can play on the left hand side. Dorgu's out at the moment. So then it's like another position you're potentially looking at in the summer where you're going, we'll have to spend heavily in there, like 50, 60 million. Is it worth bringing someone back who's technically in the prime now, who's just had a great season at Barcelona? It can go one or two ways, and you can bring him back and you get the same old Rashford back in the same environment and stinking out the place and conversations again. Or he plays like he's playing at Barcelona and it looks like you pulled off a bit of a miracle where you have got that player back, and again, you get his value back up. Then you decide, okay, maybe we should sell him now. He's back to 60, 70 million. Because it can be smart like that. I don't think a lot of people will agree with it. If we find out in the summer he's coming back, I think a lot of people would probably like, maybe keep him in Barcelona. But I think people's minds, and we've seen this season, it's a massive example. You can change people's minds within a month. Of playing football.
If he comes back and scores 5 goals in like 5 games,
everyone would be like, Rashford's back, academy products, that the other, like, it's that easy. So I'm not as firm stance on it as I was. I think I've maybe. Do you agree?
I think it'd just be best for him to stay at Barca or go somewhere else. I just think he's out clearly in a better environment. His mindset is better. I think the trappings of whatever was going on in the UK are not there anymore, and he's getting his head down and he's getting on with it. So it's clearly better for him. So I'd rather go see him flourish elsewhere than come to United, and just the drama and the news stories and the cycle just get out. No. I can't be arsed with it. I don't want any. I want boring players at United. Personal.
But also, would it not be weird if it feels like he's not played for the club? I don't know how long it's been technically. It feels like he's not played for the club for so long.
Yeah.
And like, having him back,
didn't he, under Amrim? The City derby? The Manchester derby?
Is that this season?
Last season.
I was going to say, fucking hell.
And then he didn't play after that, did he? And then obviously went to Barca in the summer.
Yeah, that's crazy. So the last time he played for Man United, I'll have to get that up because that's thinking. But sorry, go on.
It's been about a season and a half, surely. Like it's got to be like around that time. I would say.
I'll get it up. But go on.
But it's fascinating to see what's going to happen. Let us know in the comments in the chat. Does he end up at Barca anyway? Do they pay the money we're asked for, or does he end up coming back to United under Michael Carrick? Yeah. Let us know,
the derby, Sam. Sorry, that's what it was.
There
Manchester derby on 22nd of April. It was.
Yeah. Woo. Towards the end of last season. I remember that. Yeah. So his Garnacho was dropped for that same derby as well, wasn't he? But he ended up coming back into the team for a bit.
Yeah.
And then obviously left after the Europa League final in these comments. But yeah, let us know. Final little bit. Amad Diallo has done an interview with Inside Carrington, which is the United podcast. I think Carrick and who was the other one who was on it last week? Sesko on it last week. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's Man United propaganda, but sometimes there's a few interesting bits.
Yeah, I think they're getting a little bit better. A little bit better. That's what it was like. Fucking
Yeah, but Ahmad was on it today, and he's spoken about working with Michael Carrick. He said working with Carrick is really enjoyable. We love the training. He's a great person who speaks with everyone. I feel lucky because I've known him since I arrived at United at 18. I faced him when he was managing in the Championship, so we go way back. Having people around who truly understand this club is what it stands for is huge for us as players. They constantly remind us what it means to wear the badge when we step onto the pitch. We want to fight for them. Connection is really important. It seems like Carrick has really sort of turned the environment and the feeling and the way players see the club into something different than what was under Amorim. Obviously, you've got Johnny Evans there, you've got Michael Carrick, you've got Steve Holland, Jonathan Woodgate. Do you think it just all it takes is somebody who understands the club to sort of change things a little bit at United? Because there's such history and such richness involved in this club. You can't just bring in somebody like Ten Hag or Amrim and they don't fully understand the club. You need somebody who's been here and done it to sort of get it.
I'm really torn on this because on one hand, yeah, I think you do. Someone who knows the DNA of the club, and it's clear because the impact that Ollie had when he came in and Carrick since he's come in, they just know what it takes to be a Manchester United player. So that having that quality, you can't say it's a bad thing. It never will be. I try not to tap into the language as much as what you see nowadays in the media, that like he gets it and he's, he's a part of it and there's a connection. And I still feel like we're in a bit of a honeymoon period. And maybe that honeymoon period will continue and we'll keep playing well and Carrick will become the permanent manager and we'll be back challenging near the top again. I think that'd be great. But there's just something in my head that I'm just like, I don't think it's going to stay like this. I think it's going to be great to the end of the season. And then I think you're going to have to make a cutthroat decision one way or another. The work that he's doing at the moment, I think he's just simplified everything on it. And I think that one of the most impressive things is where he's put the players in sort of positions. So a lot of the conundrums we had would be like, okay, we've got a two-man midfield under Ruben Amorim, box to box. Cass and Bruno got there eventually, a bit of a partnership, but it was playing through us way too easy and it wasn't working. So then, okay, how do we resolve that? Kobbie Mainoo's not been playing. You put him in a three with Bruno and Cass, and that's a really balanced midfield now, and it works well. Then the front three, okay, Brian Mbeumo's a really seasoned player. He'll deal with the pressure. He's dealt with it since he's come in. Put him up top. He's our top goal scorer anyway. And he's a versatile player.
He's played up top for Brentford before,
and he's played up top for Brentford in a split partnership. Call it whatever you want. He can do a job there. Has played really well since Carrick's come in. Ahmad was playing at wing back, and then there was there was traffic on the right hand side, a bit of a traffic jam with like getting in each other's way a little bit. Ahmad's back on that wing now. Dorgu put him in a position where he's doing really, really well. He's not really. He seems more of a winger than he does than a defender for me, 100%. And look at the form that he's in. So every player that he's cherry picked out and put in, and then I think Maguire coming back in, the experience at the back, him and Lissandro complement each other really, really well. And then he's just elevated the levels in putting Luke Shaw back at left back, and Diego Dalot's in good form as well. So you go through the team with a fine tooth comb, even the subs that he's making.
Simplification. Football is not difficult at times. Like you can really make it simple. And Carrick has proven that with not just, like you said, the selections and the way the team's set up, but it seems like the environment as well. I saw like team training shorter but more intense, which gives the players more time to sort of thing. Yeah. He's developed a bond with the players and the relationship. But Ahmad goes on to say as well, having Carrick as the head coach seems very important. He knows the club. He tells us about the club and we are playing for. Before the games, he keeps telling us you guys are playing for yourself, but you're also playing for the fans. He's telling us the fans are very important. We are also playing for the fans because we want to win, want to give them something back. Yeah, it seems like you said, we spoke about this United DNA and getting it. But obviously, Carrick was here for like 7-8 years, I want to say, as a midfielder, maybe a bit longer.
Longer, I'd probably say. I don't know.
But obviously knows United through and through. He's been as a coach here, youth coach and stuff like that. Has worked under Ollie as an assistant coach. So there's not a guy around besides Ollie maybe doesn't get the club more than he does, and he seems to be bringing that onto the players. I saw the interview with Leacher where he was talking about wanting to die for the club and feeling the grass and stuff like that, wanting to get back and playing and getting it. And it seems like Carrick is bringing that across to players who maybe wouldn't understand as much. Like Ahmad is obviously he was trafficked to Italy from the Ivory Coast.
I'll let Ratcliffe know.
Lad, let Ratcliffe know the immigration, check his passport. He was, so that's not necessarily a player where you'd be like, he's going to get the club in a way that maybe an Argentinian like Leacher, because they are passionate people and fiery people, maybe he wouldn't get, but he seems to be getting it, doesn't he? Ahmad seems to be like understanding how big and how important United is in terms of like a football entity.
I also think as well there's a bit of an African trio there now at United, isn't there? You've got kind of Mazraoui and Mbumo and Ahmad who striked up like quite a good partnership. Cunha's another one who every time we spoke about recruitment, Sam, on this channel, we always spoke about like, do they do their due diligence on the actual person and the background?
They did it on Sancho, did they?
No,
Clearly.
like this is what I'm saying. Like, and you have to really, really do I can't even say because it's do your due diligence. Jesus Christ, with those kind of send Le Mans. If you need a goalkeeper to come in who can handle the pressure and is composed and calm, like Michael Carrick, he's the guy. If you see, he isn't phased by anything.
He's very
Since
chill,
he's come in, it has just been 7 out of 10, 7 out of 10, 7 out of 10 every single game, and not phased him. Whereas, and that's the mad thing, because we went and bought an experienced goalkeeper from the Champions League who got goalkeeper of that tournament basically in that year and shit the bed every game. Do you know what I'm saying?
And you've got Sesko, who I saw the sort of like stuff that you talk about. He does meditation, visualization, and stuff. He doesn't go on social media and stuff. Like, he's a very level head, like just on it and stuff like that, which I think you sort of need. Obviously, you've got a few nutters in the bunch, like Leach, who's out of his fucking mind.
Yeah, good blend.
Bruno is a bit sort of emotional and over the top and whingy, but obviously he's a quality player, so you can put that to the side. But then you've got a few really chill personalities like Matthijs de Ligt. Sesko, we talked on. Mazraoui seems very chill. Le Mans, Cunha's obviously got a bit of fire on the pitch, but off the pitch he seems quite happy and quite sort of bouncy and sort of connects people. So yeah, it seems like we've got a really good mix in this club, and there doesn't seem to be any dickheads at the minute. Whereas I think times under the past couple of years, you could definitely say there was some dickheads.
100%.
Like Garnacho, dickhead.
The biggest one.
Sancho, dickhead. So Onana, at times I love the confidence, but then that shit with Matic to get fit before Leon, I was just like, that's a dickhead move. Like, why are you doing that? Why are you doing stuff like that? It just seems stupid to me. So yeah, it seems like we're weeding that out and we're getting, like you said, the recruitment right, and hopefully that continues with the personalities and the fact that we're looking at like not Kobe Minu, sorry, Elliot Anderson, Carlos Baliba, those kind of guys. Hopefully their personalities sort of mesh into the squad as well. I'm just going to read out a couple of comments. Lumen, big up. Dan Raj, bring all the priests, popes, prophets together. If there's any renouncing procedure that can fit in here, fair enough. Dan has said 25 goals contribution in 38 games, and they say they want to pay less. I think that's in reference to Rashford. Let it go to Serie A. Let see him win the Ballon d'Or. Steph, even Nick is isn't Klopp the manager of Travago FC? Very nice.
Yes, he is.
I like that.
Yeah, a lot of managers doing adverts now. Have you seen that Uber Eats one with like Sam Allardyce and Alan Pardew and all that weird market that's happening?
Get your money, man. Get your money.
Yeah, why not? Why not?
I saw is it a Japanese one? I can't remember which manager it was. He's a big man. It might have been Jose. He did a Japanese advert for like food and stuff. It's fucking weird. It's so bizarre. Like proper weird.
Jose,
yeah, and it's Japan. So yeah, it's proper out there. But yeah, it's really interesting. I was going to check, look at the vote. So I put, if Klopp was an option for manager, would you take him? And 36% said yes. 64% said no. So there you go. Like,
interesting.
It's interesting. People have actually would take him at the club. Final question, just to sort of touch on Carrick. If he keeps going the way he's going, obviously we're undefeated in 5, 4 wins, a draw. He keeps going to the end of the season, say he gets us into top 4 Champions League or top 3 or whatever. Are we then in an Eric Ten Hag situation where he is achieved what you wanted him to achieve and the fan support is behind him, similar to when Ten Hag won the FA Cup? Obviously the league form is totally different, but he won the FA Cup, fan sentiment was behind him, we backed him in the summer, and then 3 months later we sacked him, brought in Ruben Amorim. Are we in a similar situation with Carrick if he does what we want him to do this season?
Do you know what? I think it's such a different. I would not want to be in Ineos right now, because if we bring in a new manager, and it could be a high caliber manager like an Enrique or whatever, and within the first couple of months they don't do well, 100%.
Why didn't we just keep Carrick?
Yeah, the whole conversation and all season, we had someone there who, let's call it for
He's getting
argument's sake,
results. He
10
understood the
wins out of
players.
14 games. The players were playing for him. I don't know. It's tricky. And to be honest, can you blame him either way? That's the thing. Like,
you're damned if you do, aren't you? You're damned if you go.
Like if they go, okay, we saw what happened with Ollie, maybe we'll take a different route, and we can't be emotional in this decision, and we'll go for a more prestigious match, especially now we've got Champions League football.
Yeah.
Or there's some. It depends. You have to really know your work with Carrick, and I'm sure they've got time now to assess him, aren't they? The feet under the table, all that kind of stuff, and they'll be watching him closely. How does he deal with players? How does has he dealt with any backlash yet? How does he manage a bigger squad? How does he
managing a setback? So say our first loss. How does he handle it?
Yeah, and I don't know if we're necessarily going to get those sample tests because we've only got 13 games left, and they're all Premier League.
And it's one game a week, and he's got massive bags of time in between every single one of them.
So, right now, would you give it him?
Like you said, I don't think it's a big enough sample sale. I think sample sale,
sample size.
Sample size. I think interview managers get the feeling on like whoever you target, Nagelsmann, Enrique, whoever it is that you obviously Tuchel and Ancelotti are off the table now because they've signed extensions. Get your interviews and stuff like that, and then make your decision at the end of the season. I think that's where you stand. That's what I would do.
Yeah, you don't need to rush it anyway, do you?
No.
You got time, so. But you have to kind of speak as well at the same time to other managers to get that feel.
I'm sure Carrick knows that. Like, I'm sure Carrick is aware that that's going to go on.
He might even say no. I doubt it.
Maybe. But all he can do. He's in his interview now. All he can do is win games.
Yeah, exactly.
Just keep winning games, and that is the only thing he can control. In getting this job, if he wants the job, win games.
100%.
You'll be in the hat. But yeah, thank you everybody for joining us this quick, a little unfiltered. Apologies, a bit shorter than usual, but news is a bit dry.
Yeah.
United play in a week, just under a week on Monday night against Everton. So there will be a preview for that this coming weekend at some point. There is a competition going on our Instagram for you to win this, a hoodie, and a mug. So if you want to go win that, go check out the video on our Instagram page and follow the instructions, and you could be entered into the hat. We're going to announce it at the end of this week, just for the Everton game, I think.
Yeah.
That'll be a good time to do it. So please do go check that out. Follow us on all the socials, Instagram, TikTok, X, Blue Sky. If you're not following us already, all the news, all the sort of clips and stuff on there. Subscribe to us on the channel if you're not already. Leave a like and leave a comment. Comment your thoughts on Klopp. Comment your thoughts on Michael Carrick. Comment your thoughts on Rashford. Comment your thoughts on Ahmad. Anything you want. We always reply, and it's always interesting to see. Nick, thanks for joining us. I know it was a bit of a rush getting back and getting this done, but no, it's work, life, things getting in the way. We'll be back this week with a couple of different shows. We're trying to get some guests on as well, trying to get some stuff in the tank. But yeah, please do check us out, and we'll see you